Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the air signs and the person on your mind. Air signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Air signs, I did a mini meditation before I turned on the camera, and it really got off to a weird start because I wrote fire signs down, and then I had a few spelling errors, and I don't usually have a lot of spelling errors, so there was something a little, it's like my brain and my hands were not connecting in the way that I wanted them to. But so hence why I covered up fire with air, but I thought that was significant because maybe the person on your mind is a fire sign. So I wrote ice and fire, just I saw ice first. Indentations or imperfections. Light language, as in language from, kind of higher consciousness. And then I saw the Pleiades or the Pleiades. I'm sure I spelled that one wrong. This one I can never spell right because I never understand how to spell it. And this one is a really funny one. I wrote toast sweat, which is, this is really showing my age, but there used to be a show on television on NBC, and it was called Frasier. Maybe some of you know it. Frasier was a show about a psychiatrist. It's a spin-off of the classic show Cheers. And Frasier was a psychiatrist, and he ended up living with his dad, and his brother was also a psychiatrist. And there's one episode, I used to watch that show religiously because it was a very smart show, but there were moments of very highbrow comedy coupled with absolute slapstick comedy. It was so great. There's one episode where Frasier and his dad are arguing about how his dad always puts hot toast on the counter when he butters it, and then he leaves toast sweat. Or Frasier does it, and his dad gets annoyed at him. And he goes, "Didn't you know about toast sweat? It's the scourge of our times," right? But it wasn't so much about the toast, and it was more about the fact that he was a psychiatrist. And so Spirit is really drawing my attention to that aspect. Bricks or blocks, specifically from Stonehenge or something like Stonehenge. Washing hair. Antisocial dogs. So I've been seeing a lot of videos of dogs at the dog park. Dogs that don't know how to dog. I think that's how they call these videos, where there's some dogs that just don't know how to make friends. There's such a complex hierarchy to dog socialization. And I thought maybe that has something to do with how you're feeling right now. Not to compare you to a dog, but simply to talk about the fact that there could be, you or your person could be feeling very antisocial right now, or wanting to feel more social and not knowing how to bridge the gap. FIFA, as in soccer or football as it's known around the world. I don't watch soccer. I don't know where that came from. And a wallet. So I'm just going to hold this up. Please excuse my spelling errors. So you may see these symbols or representations on your journeys. Please let me know if they show up somewhere in your world. I would love to hear about it. Also, I'm using this beautiful rainbow moonstone to channel the air sign energy today. I just wanted to show that to you. These could also show up in the reading. I'm not sure. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'm gonna pull 2 cards from the Starseed Oracle and do the reading with the Muse Tarot. So these cards have been pre-shuffled. Oh, right off the bat. Okay, I have the decks right on the table, and I touched the card, and I touched the deck in order to pick it up, and this card just did it just did this. So I'm taking this card for you. Weight of the world. Boundaries, let go. It's not yours to carry. Boundaries, let go. It's not yours to carry. Spirit wanted you to have that card, air signs, so could be something here that you've been holding on to. I think of the 9 of Wands card when I think of that. The 10 of Wands card, burden. Your person got Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. So remember when I was talking about Fraser and the highbrow humor? So Earth School. So your person may be going through some karmic lessons at this time. So whoever you thought of first when you came to this reading, please try not to switch it up. If that was the person you came to and you were thinking about as you entered this reading, then this reading is for you and for that person. If it doesn't resonate, then it's not your reading. So don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. I'm going to pull 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for the clarifiers. The first set of cards is going to be about you. The second set, your person. The third set, the connection. And the fourth set, advice from Spirit. Okay, lots of cards, lots of cards. Okay, all the cards are out. You know what's, oh. So I put the deck down and another card just slid. Because, you know, we can say it's spirit, we can say it's electrostatic, electricity, that kind of thing. The Ace of Emotions. You know, but what is spirit? Spirit is energy, right? Ace of Emotions, Spirit wanted me to show you Ace of Cups in this deck. Something that is abundant and full of psychic energy, but also love. It's a psychic bond, a psychic connection that is really being highlighted here. Because I'm looking at these two fish. It's kind of how they're swimming in tandem. Maybe this is for some of you, not all of you obviously, but for some of you this could be about a twin flame or a divine partnership, like a romantic partnership. Take it as it resonates. Or it could be just somebody that you feel very, very, very connected to. So as opposed to, sometimes when I do the person on your mind readings, it could be like about an annoying coworker, right? That's not what this reading is about. This is somebody you care for on a very deep level, that you've shared a history with them. You know, you see how like her whole kind of chest, throat area is completely vulnerable, completely exposed, completely open heart and throat chakra right now. Wanting to express this love. So take that as it resonates. What's going on with you? You got the Strength card in the reverse, Major Arcana number 8, representing Leo energy. Oh, see? It's beautiful. The pyramids in the background, talking about those big bricks and big blocks. The Strength card typically talks about somebody who has mastered their ego, or had a kind of ego death. Right? The ego exists to protect us to a certain extent, but that's very interesting that I referred to the ego as they. Why did I say they? It's like the voices trying to protect you from, you know, sometimes taking risks, doing things that, you know, have the potential to hurt you or disappoint you, and then it stymies you and keeps you in a stagnant position. When the Strength card is in the upright, it's like a mastery over that. It's keeping the ego at bay, but you have it in the reverse right now. So you could be very caught up in something. Muse of Materials is the King of Pentacles. Maybe it has to do with your abundance, your finances. Maybe there's something here where you feel like you have to live up to a particular expectation or reputation. You know, because then I'm seeing this, the weight of the world. Look, see how similar this is? Look at that. Look at that. Two different decks, completely different. Wow, that is... Take that, please take that as a synchronicity. It's not yours to carry. It's kind of like saying that whatever, I almost feel like it's a parental expectation or somebody just putting pressure on you to have to look a certain way, be a certain way, make a certain amount of money. And that is really hard to maintain sometimes. And it's almost like potentially working yourself into the ground rather than disappoint somebody that you really respect. And part of that is ego too. That's ego-based, because it's the idea that you need someone else's approval to be a valuable human in this world. This could be something that you're talking about with your therapist if you have one. Clarifying these two cards is the Seven of Emotions. Seven of Emotions talks about being spoiled for choice. There's so much to choose from, I don't even know where to begin. That's this energy. But there's no confusion. There's no confusion about it. It's almost like you're telling me, I don't have a choice. I have to work this job. I have to provide for these people. I can't let them down. What are they going to do without me? Feel that. What are they going to do without me? I totally get that. Not easier said than done. Here comes the sirens. Anytime sirens come through my readings, it's like emergency, emergency, right? Like you're getting almost to a breaking point, I feel, with this. The reason why because my twin just popped into my mind. I remember one of the first conversations I had with him, we were kind of trying to get to know each other and trying to describe ourselves. And he threw out a whole bunch of words, and one of those words was rainmaker. And I had never really heard that expression, like make it rain, right? I'm the rainmaker. It's like there's this expectation that I'm gonna bring all the money in, and you know, I have to provide. Like, my twin has children from another relationship, so, you know, he had to provide for his family. And he just said he had to be the rainmaker, but he was not proud of that. I don't feel that when he said it, it was like a burden to him. It was like a burden. And so Spirit, you know, take it as it resonates. I'm not saying that you have a twin, but I'm just using, that's like a story from my memory that Spirit is helping me use to elucidate to you the feeling of the weight of the world. Like, you don't have a choice but to not let people down. What is your person going through right now? 5 of Voices in the reverse. 5 of Voices is the 5 of Swords. And typically, this card talks about winning at all costs. It can be very, very tricky. It can be, sometimes, I don't like the 5 of Voices, and sometimes it's the equivalent of, like if you're in a schoolyard fight, and it's kind of like put up your dukes. Instead of it being a fair fight, you got to do what you got to do, and you pick up dirt from the ground and you throw it in somebody's face, punch them, and then just get out of there, right? Don't condone any of this, just using it as an example. Dirty fighting. Dirty. That's what this card represents to me as a reader. It doesn't, you can't see that in this visualization, but this is what I feel. This card is in the reverse though, so it's kind of, I don't want to play that game anymore. I've been fighting, you know, if your person is in the Earth School, right? They're learning a lot of karmic lessons. I almost feel like, was your person, were they a bully when they were younger? Were they bullied when they were younger? Something about a bully. There is, in this depiction, an olive branch, right? When we extend the olive branch, it's like waving the white flag. You know, let's be friends. I surrender. Let's be friends. In the reverse, this card is saying, I don't want to play dirty anymore. I don't even want to fight. I don't have any desire. All I want to do is just elevate myself. I want to. Muse of inspiration is the muse, the King of Wands. I want to follow my passions. I know I'm meant for more in this life. There's so much more. There's so much inside of me that is just begging to come out, begging to be expressed, begging to be recognized. And I don't want to play this game anymore. It feels like a game. Clarifying these 2 cards, the 9 of Emotions. I'm not getting what I want. I'm not getting my wish fulfillment. This doesn't feel like, I'm not surrounded by happiness. I'm not surrounded by abundance right now. I just feel as though I'm treading water, that I'm, you know. Your person could be going through dark night of the soul. You also could be going through dark night of the soul. I did throw out the word surrender. Like if there was a list of things a person does during their spiritual awakening, surrender would certainly be on that list. I feel like your person has such a depth to them, but they are working through a lot of past life karma. They are working through feelings of inadequacy. They are starting to understand just how deep their gifts go. They do have a lot of gifts, actually. actually going to pull one more. I want to know what the gifts are. What are your person's, ooh, what are your person's gifts? Look at this. I told you there were gifts. Here's the High Priestess. I told you there were gifts. Your person is psychic. Your person has a lot of psychic ability. However, no, they could be a Capricorn, but here's the Devil with the Page of Inspiration and the Two of Cups. A lot of love to give. They have a lot of love to give, but it's caught up in a place of codependency. They are, okay, you and your person, this feels so twin flamey. You and your person are mirroring each other. So you don't have to be twin flame, just take it as it resonates. But both of you are caught up in this idea that you have to keep up appearances, not let people down. There's a lot of external ties, like a lot of what you do. Now, that applies to almost all of us, right? A lot of us like to have an affirmation from somebody in our lives that we're doing the right thing. For sure, for sure, for sure. However, there is almost a reliance on that. Do you approve of my life choices? You know, is this wallpaper the correct color for this room? I mean, whatever it is, it's almost like your person is really looking towards a connection for validation. And that's where the Devil energy comes in, because no matter how close we are to somebody, it's like we need to be able to think on our own 2 feet. We need to be able to do things that we need to know what it is that we think and feel first. That is part of the lesson here, is that your person is kind of stepping into their High Priestess power, understanding that, oh, there is a greater source of connection, and it's not just all the external, like the peanut gallery of friends and family and whatever that give their 2 cents about something. No. It's much deeper, much greater, much more powerful, much more divinely connected. It's your person saying, I know that I have something within me. I want to express it. Right? And feeling like they just need to take that first foray, Page of Inspiration, that first step forward into something that could, you know, it could scare them. This is like jumping into the abyss. That's what spiritual awakening feels like. When your Kundalini rises, that is some ugly business, I will tell you. And here it is. I see in the connection between you two, 3 of materials. 3 of materials is the 3 of Pentacles. It's a co-creation with spirit. I have never looked at this as the Kundalini rising until just this moment. I've always been like, oh, the braids represent good fortune in tarot. No, not to say that it's not good fortune, but I don't really see that for you guys today. This is your connection. I see this as a Kundalini awakening. What does that mean? It's this idea that at the base, if we have like kind of chakra centers, energy centers within our energetic body and our physical body, at the base of that body is your root, the root chakra. And within that root chakra, there's this like serpentine entity, like a snake-like entity. And as your Kundalini energy rises, the snake kind of coils up and up and up, all the way up to your crown and out. So it's like opening up all the chakras that have been blocked or stifled or stymied throughout your life towards something, towards this absolutely kind of mind-blowing consciousness, an awareness. The veil has been lifted. But that process can sometimes be painful. It can be emotionally painful, and it can actually be physically painful as well. Like, I'm talking like total like backaches, fever, delusions. Like, some people, if they force you're not supposed to force a Kundalini rising, but if you do, it's like you feel like you're just like losing your brain. It's like the equivalent of Moldavite. So if any of you are crystal lovers, or you collect crystals, or you work with crystal energy, Moldavite is the crystal. I will never, I have never and will never own Moldavite. I have no desire to own that crystal because it's really intense and I don't think I'm ready for it. Watch it somehow pop up into my life now that I'm talking it out loud. But Moldavite is actually a part of a meteorite that crashed to Earth and it landed in the Czech Republic. This is all true. It's part of a meteorite. It's shards of a meteorite. And it's this kind of deep foresty green color. It looks like glass. You have to be careful if you buy Moldavite that you're buying the real thing. But people say that if you possess Moldavite, whatever changes that spirit wants to make, they are going to make them swift and with a fury. People have broken up relationships, they've moved towns, they've quit jobs, they've whatever. Great upheaval and change. It's like the crystal equivalent of a tower moment. That's Moldavite. That's a Kundalini awakening. And that was what could potentially be happening between you and the person on your mind. So it could be something as great as that you could be noticing that you no longer can stomach some of the behavior that you used to tolerate before. Right? I'll give you a very personal example, right? Like, I did a lot of dating before the pandemic, before my spiritual awakening happened during the pandemic, as a lot of people's did. But before that, I just went out on dates like all the time, just with like whomever, whatever, right? Not whomever, whatever, not that traumatic, but you know, looked good on paper. And some of the things that I tolerated in conversation, in dating these people, my God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? And I wasn't thinking of myself, that's for sure. I wasn't thinking of my own value and worth, that's for sure. I mean, I was to a certain extent. But now, you know, those people, and they would never have a chance with me now. Because I wouldn't tolerate that level of behavior. Because I have a greater respect for myself. And that's exactly what's going on here. It's not to say that you don't respect yourself. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that once you go through this process, you're literally elevating yourself. You're holding yourself to a higher standard, and therefore others. So it's not going to be about what other people want from me. It's going to be about what I want from myself, right? Because I did talk about these kind of connections with other people that you and the person on your mind may be dependent on. You're both breaking away from that. I feel as though you're just breaking out of that, and you're no longer tolerating things. You're having, what's the word here for you? Boundaries. It's all about boundaries. Not boundaries to shut ourselves off from the world, but boundaries in order to let in only what is worthy of us, right? Ace of Voices in the reverse to clarify the Three of Materials. This card talks to me about a brand new moment of clarity and epiphany. Spirit is saying you're still kind of working through that epiphany at this time. I don't think that it is, you're still working through your Kundalini rising, your awakening, and that epiphany is waiting for you. It's not quite here yet. It's waiting for you. And these two cards, advice from Spirit, the Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy, and the Three of Voices, the Three of Swords. Tough. Tough. Spirit is saying, right, when this card is in the reverse, the Chariot talks about victory. And so when the card is in reverse, it's kind of like there's a stagnancy. Like this is all about the charioteer moving. Look at all that horsepower, right? Moving forward with a lot of energy and a lot of tenacity. The Chariot in reverse is kind of talking about in this place of stagnancy because the Three of Voices showed up. This is the card of heartbreak, heartache. Can be a card of denial. I'm feeling this weird piercing pain right here in the back of my head, on the left side of my head. It hurts, something that there's such heartache that you're still trying to work through at this time. You haven't truly gotten through it yet, because otherwise the card would have been in the upright for me. What does this pain have to deal with, Spirit? This is your advice from Spirit, which is to try and look at something head on, to heal it. That's another three, double threes, Three of Inspiration. This is about kind of having waited for your ships to come in, and this idea that they're never going to come. Spirit is saying, don't be in that mindset. Don't be in that mindset that your time is not coming, because it will. Or right now, this is the mindset that you have right now. Spirit literally wants you to flip all these cards over so we can work through and work past our trauma or our heartache, heartbreak, move forward in victory so that we can realize what it is that we are, what our goals are. Three of Inspiration can talk about looking forward on a path towards your goals. So that's your reading, air signs. This is a tough one. I feel as though whoever it is that you're connected to, this is an intimate connection, first of all. And that you're both going through your own type of awakening. But the lessons that you will learn are different. I think your lesson is to put up certain boundaries towards people in your life that are maybe detractors. It's almost like I'm never good enough or I'm never enough. That's not true at all. Your person's lessons are kind of having to work through their karma. Part of that karma is understanding that they don't have to rely on outside affirmation to feel value. So take it as it resonates. If this reading did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, air signs.